So there were a couple of non-technical reasons to leverage Steam. It seems like you guys are also crowdsourcing a lot of the work involved. And
Tons.
what about technical reasons for leveraging the Steam blockchain?
Originally, like I had this whole concept to build a game using a card game using blockchain, and I had a vision of like creating an entirely new blockchain for it because Ethereum does not work. It's, if the whole game's gonna be run on the blockchain, you can't like pay a fee every time you want to do anything, and you can't wait however long it is,
or get your transaction rejected.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't work for this. I mean, that's why something like Steam is not built on Ethereum. It just doesn't work for that. So I was like, oh, am I going to create like a whole new blockchain? And that's just not really a doable project for me.
Well, it's a whole other project. I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize is if you want to do X and they're like, well, I'm going to fire up a blockchain and then I'm going to do Y. It's like, okay, those are two separate projects.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't realistic. So, I started talking to Agrode, he had this art, he had this stuff. So originally I actually thought we were, kind of compromising by using Steem. Like, it doesn't really do what we want, but we have all these great elements. There's the great community, there's the reward system. So we'll do what we can do, and that's that. But I actually, my most recent post, I've realized since starting this project that we can actually make a fully decentralized game on the Steem blockchain, using things like soft consensus mechanisms. And I literally did not think that was possible, beforehand. And it's really kind of opened my mind to what's really possible on the Steem blockchain. Is just way more than I ever thought before. And the tooling isn't there yet, but the HiveMind project that Steemit Inc. is working on, I've realized kind of the potential there, because that is the beginnings of the tooling to make this stuff kind of much easier to build. Like, a lot of the work that I'm doing now would just be already built as part of that. The ability to do these soft consensus mechanisms, which is basically like smart contracts. It's just not at the blockchain level. It's above the blockchain level.
Could you elaborate on that? The difference between soft consensus versus hard consensus?
Yeah, the idea is, it's just basically whether or not the blockchain itself accepts the transaction. So if you made, there's CryptoKitties on Ethereum. So if I submitted a transaction to the Ethereum blockchain that said, I'm sending you this CryptoKitty that's not a CryptoKitty that I actually have in my account, the blockchain is going to say, you don't have that CryptoKitty, you can't send it, right? Because that's what the smart contract dictates. That's hard consensus. So on Steem, we can't build a CryptoKitties smart contract, so we can't do that. So I could publish a transaction to the Steem blockchain that says, I have some super rare Steem Monsters card, right? The blockchain doesn't know. It would allow that transaction to go on the blockchain forever. But what soft consensus is that basically everyone using the blockchain agrees that I don't actually have that card. And even though the transaction's there on the blockchain, everyone agrees that it is invalid. So what basically the HiveMind project is doing is just, putting actual rules and code around that. So, the full nodes that you use to get information and query the blockchain will just, come back and say, hey, this transaction's invalid. So it's the same thing at the end of the day. It's just, in one case, it's verified at the blockchain level. In the other case, it's verified, on top of the blockchain with these meta layers. So now that I kind of understand that, I've started to realize that there's a lot of potential on the Steem blockchain. And all you really need is a public, immutable ledger, which is, and Bitcoin would work too. You could do all of this on Bitcoin with the same soft consensus mechanism, but that would be even worse for obvious reasons.
How many hours do you want to wait until your monster
but you could do it. It's sufficient, I think. So Steem is also sufficient, and it has no transaction fees, and it's very quick.
And it has a community,
and and all the other benefits we've discussed.
All these people that are very talented. Just a lot of this all comes together.
Yeah, so we can build a full, and we're not quite there yet, but this is going to be a fully decentralized application where you should be able to do anything that you could do with a smart contract on Ethereum or EOS or anything else.